Welcome everyone to another great Ritchie Blackmore song with Ronnie James Dio singing. Boy, I love Dio. I've seen him a couple times and man, he sure knew how to command an audience. There's some real tricks to playing this song. Ritchie does a couple things. One is the same trick he used on Smoke on the Water. So I'm going to talk about that. Some real cool licks in it. Not real difficult. The bridge is extremely difficult. Which I'll talk about, and I'm also going to link you below my video with my notes will be a link to Ben Eller, who's another guitar teacher on YouTube, and he talks about how Ritchie plays this bridge. It's in quads and the way you pick this correctly, and Ben is a great teacher for this, and there's a whole study of how to pick properly, if you will. You know, it's a whole science, honest to God. I wish I'd have learned it or been exposed to that much earlier in my career. With that said, I've also figured out a rhythm for the bridge so that most guitar players like me can play this. I can't do that bridge. I really can't. I've tried. It sounds like crap. It'd be something I'd really have to practice, and at this point in my career I'm just not putting the time into. So I will teach it to you, what the notes they play, what chords they represent, and the lead, which is really not too difficult. It's just how it's executed, which is typical Ritchie style. So alright, I've talked enough. We'll get right into the song. Alright, before we really get into how he plays it, let's get into some of the tone. I'm playing through this great amp I bought, the Marshall SV20H, which is a Plexi replica, and I'll tell you, it's the best amp I've ever owned, period. I have a Fender Bandmaster that is right up there, but that's the Fender sound. As far as Marshall, best Marshall I've ever owned. I had JCM 9000s, I've had JCM 800s, you name it. Regardless, I'm using that amp, and I got into those $20 Donner pedals on eBay, and I bought a reverb, and it sounds really great. I've got it set up for spring reverb, or I'm sorry, plate reverb, so you get a little bit more tail in it. So here's the sound which you hear during the very first measure of the introduction before he turns on the phase shifter. So you can hear it. I've got it pretty loud in the mix because the song's very quick and you want it to stand out a bit. So you really hear it. So okay, so I've got some plate reverb, a little bit of volume, and then I added a phase shifter, again one of those cheaper, this one's by Moore, I don't know, it's maybe 30 bucks, and it's set at vintage tone and maybe about a quarter or 10 o'clock, so it's just off of 10 o'clock there. So when I kick that in, you'll get this kind of sound. So that's the tone and stuff that I used in the intro to show you this, and it's great to play with. The first measure, or the first time through in the intro, Ritchie plays just with the reverb. Then you hear him turn on the phase shifter. So that's what I did when I did the intro to the video. I'm just going to keep the effects off as we teach the song. Okay, the secret to playing this song to sound correctly and Smoke on the Water is to hybrid pick. So you're going to get a blood blister like I did here if you do this, or if you use a ring finger. Yep, got one. That's okay. It was well worth it. So I'm using my pick and I'm plucking with my ring finger. That is the key to the sound for this. So you get both notes ringing together versus picking, which they ring together, but one is hit first before the other. So here's plucked, and here's picked. So there's a big difference, in especially in Smoke on the Water. Hybrid picked. All right, so this song, we're going to start out hitting the 6th string at the 3rd fret. Just a simple note, G note. Then we're going to go to 5, 3, 5 on the 5th and 4th strings together. Then we're going to go to the 3rd fret of the 4th and 3rd string. Back to the 5th and 4th at the 3rd fret. So we have this so far. Then we're going to walk back again at 4th from 5 to 3, 5. Then you're going to hear it's a slight slide in. It's not like you're sliding in from 3 to 5. It's just real quick, but it's there. You're sliding in on the 4th and 3rd string at the 5th fret to the 3rd fret. Okay? So all together slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to repeat the first half of that measure. And we're going to walk down 5, 3, 1 on the 5th and 4th string. All right, that is the intro. They'll do that 3 times. That is also the chorus and the outro. Play it over and over and over again. So once you get that down, after we do it 3 times, the first time is with the phase shifter off, 2 times with the phase shifter on, and then the phase shifter stays on throughout the song. After we get to the 1, he's going to do a quick lick. It's going to be the 1st fret hammered onto the 3rd on the 5th string, the 4th string back to the 5th string. And then he'll start the verse rhythm. All right? So we'll go over this one more time, the 3 times with the lick at the end of the 3rd time. All right? Cool. To the verse. We'll go over that next. Okay, so the verse is basically Richie outlining the chords that the keyboards and bass are doing. So I'm going to go, we'll do from the lick into the verse one time through, and then we'll go through it. To the bridge and the bridge rhythm. So basically what we're doing, we're going to play octaves here for the most part. So we'll be starting with an F All right, we're going to be playing the first fret twice at the 6th string, and then to the 3rd fret of the 4th string. Then we move to a C octave. We're going to do the C note, 3rd fret, 5th string twice to the 5th fret of the 3rd string. And we'll just move that up one to a G. Do it again. Alright, then we're going to play an inversion of the, let's see, that'd be an E flat. So on the 6th fret of the 5th string, 6th, 5 on the 4th string, to 3 on the 3rd string. So it'd be a 4, a C, but we're only playing the 5th, 4th, and 3rd string. Each one individually, okay? So what we have so far is this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to outline a C chord. We'll be playing the 3rd fret of the 5th string, and then playing the 5th fret of the 4th and 3rd, each note individually, just like we did for the E flat. Okay, there's a slight palm mute to it. You don't want it too palm muted because you want that phaser to stick up in there. But again, from the E flat, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, at that point we shift to that F. We'll do that twice. And we come back to G and F once each. And we're going to go to C with the octaves twice. Then we'll come back with our E flat, but we're going to add the 3rd string at the 5th fret. So it'll be, and just put your middle finger down on the 3rd string there. It's kind of leading us into that C. Okay, again, that's exaggerating because I played the notes, but they're more palm muted and staccato. So we got our C, and then we're going to stick on the G twice. And then we're into the bridge. Okay, so now for the bridge, I'm going to go over the bridge rhythm that us normal guitarists can play. And again, it's a technique and it's a study in it, and it's great if you can do it. The bridge rhythm is basically, we're going to start out playing a D, all right? We're going to be playing those octaves, 5 and 7. We'll do that twice. Then we'll move to the 1st fret, or B flat. We'll do that twice, back to D twice. Then we move to an A with the octave twice. Then we're going to strum through a B flat and C and back to a B flat, arpeggiate I should say. Then a G will arpeggiate 3, 5, 5. Then we just go to an E flat, so we'll be on the 5th and 4th string, and then an E sharp. So together, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're back into the actual, what would be the chorus, all right, which is like the intro. So I'll go over the arpeggiation next. Alright, so the arpeggiation is slightly palm muted. Again, as Ben Eller alludes to, we'll be on the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd string. It'll be 5, 6, and 7. Back to 6, and then start again, and you'll do that 4 times. Then you're gonna, so that is referencing a D minor. Alright? Then we're gonna move to a B flat. Alright, so it'll be 6, 6, 7. And then back to 5, 6, 7, our D minor. I found if you just move your first finger, slide it up there, and then back, it sounds pretty good. After that B minor, okay, so after the second set of 5, 6, 7, back to 6, we're going to move to 8, 10, and 9 on the first, second, and third string. Then we're going to move to a B shape. All right, this will be referencing a B flat, and we're going to be playing 10, 11, 10. The key there is it's only twice before he moves it up to a C, all right, at the 12th fret. Then back to our B flat, again twice, and then 6, 8, 7. Alright, so this is referencing a G flat, or G minor, I'm sorry. So it's 6, 8, 7, and you'll do that twice. Now at this point we're going to switch to the second, third, and fourth string. You'll hit 8 again, alright, so you've gone through 6, 8, 7, back to 8, and then hit 8 again to start the next one. And we're just referencing right there, we're going to an E flat. Alright, so we're playing 8 on the second string again, to the third string, to the fourth string, back to the third string. Alright, we'll do that twice, then we move it up to 10 twice. Alright, and that is all the arpeggios. Again, it's an extreme, plucking and playing, but again, it's much faster than I can do. I've written it out. My notes below will be there for you to follow along with. After that, we're going to go into the chorus again twice before we do the notes, and then into another verse. Alright, so we know that verse, then we're into another bridge. Again, just do the bridge rhythm, or your arpeggios. And then we're going to the second chorus, which is a little bit different at the end because we're leading into the solo. So we'll go over that next. Alright, so chorus 2, which is basically an intro to the solo. We're going to go through a full measure just like we know it. The second measure is where it changes in the second half. So I'll play it for you and you can see the difference. So we'll start with the first measure, that's the whole thing. Okay, so that second half, after we slide into the 5, we're going to start it just like we have. We'll come 3 to 5. Then we're going to slide into 5 with the 5th string to the 3rd fret and the 1st fret. Then it's going to kind of take off from there with another lick. It'll be the 3rd fret of the 6th string to 1, 3, back to 1 on the 5th string. And then we're going to hit open, hammer it onto 1, pull back off to 1. back quickly to 3 and 1 on the 6th string. So all together slowly, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you're into the solo. Okay, before we get into the solo, let's talk about the solo rhythm. All right, he's going to be kind of riding on the G for 4 times. So we're doing those octaves. Then we'll do our E flat to C, back to F. Now the G, this G is consistent. He does it 4 times through each measure. So we'll do 4 of the G, our E flat. Now we're going to do our B, and then we'll do a D the same way. And just let that ride before you come back in with your G. Back to F. So the third measure is just like the first measure. The last measure, all we're going to do is come back to G after our C. So we'll do our 4 Gs. E flat, C, back to G. Then you're back into the bridge and the bridge rhythm, okay, which we know that's coming out of the solo. And then the chorus takes us out of the song the whole time. That repeats, I don't know, all the way out until it fades. So let's go over the solo next and you'll have the whole song. Okay, so I've broken this solo down as I've written it up. So you can follow along. The first part we're going to do together will be non-bolded. The second lick will be bolded. Third unbolded. Fourth bolded. 5 unbolded. 6 unbolded. And 7 unbolded. So I just trying to help you learn these little sections that you can add them all together. Okay? So the first section should sound like this. Alright, it's really not too difficult. We're going to hit the 5th fret of the 3rd string. We'll do that 5 times. On the 6th time, we'll do a bend and release to 3. Then we come back 3 on the 3rd string to 5 on the 4th string. Then we go 3 to 5 on that 4th string. 3 on the 3rd string, back to 5 on the 4th. We'll do that twice. Then we come right back to 3 on the 3rd string to 2, and then 5 on the 4th. And end on 5 on the 3rd string. It's a vibrato. Okay, so all together slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, not too difficult there so far. After that, it kind of picks up some speed because you'll be vibrating. So the second part of the solo should sound like this. Here I'm hit the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. Now this will be on the 2nd and 1st string primarily at this point. We're going to hit 3 twice to 6. To the 1st string at 3 to 6 will start us off. And start us off, I mean by we're hitting from the 6th on the 2nd string. We're going to go on the 1st string, 3, hammer into 5, pull back off to 3, hit 6 again on the 2nd string. Then we just lay our finger down, catch 6 on the first string, and then we start again on that second string at 6. Alright, so from the beginning, 1, 2, 3, 4. At that point, after the third one, when we hit the 6 on the first string, we're just going to do our 3 to 5, hammer on and pull off, back to 3, back to 6, and then end on 3 on the first string. Alright, so it'll sound like this. From the beginning, 1, 2, 3, 4. At that point, we're into the next measure. Okay, this next measure, I'm going to take off from 3 on the last measure, 3 on the first string, so you can hear how it sounds. Okay, so what we're doing there, after we hit that first string at 3, that final measure, the second time through, what we're going to do is take our pinky, slide from 6 to 8, come back to 6 on that second string, and then hit 8 with a bend. And then we hit 6, unbent, and then we move to the third string from 7 to 5, and then we're going to hit 3, hammer onto 5, pulled off to 3, slid to 2, and then pulled off to 1. Alright, so we have this so far, taken off from that first string. After that, we pull off to open. What we're going to do is strike the third string at the 3rd fret with a bend and release. As we release it, we're going to slide up to 5 and give it another bend. Okay, it's a real slick move that Richie does there. So from the top, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so the next section will sound like this. Alright, so again, it's not quite up to speed, but what we're doing is hitting the 3rd fret of the 2nd string to the 6th fret with a bend and release. Then we're going to hit 3rd fret of the 2nd string to 8. So you want to move positions. I use my middle finger to hit 8 with a bend and release. Alright, as we release it, we're going to hit 6. Then we're going to do an 8 pre-bend. So on that, again, we've hit this string. Then we want to hit the same string, bend it up, and then strike it at the 8th fret and release it to 6. Then we're going to do 2 pre-bends and releases on 8. And then just a simple 6 hammer on to 8, pull off to 6, and end up on 8 on the first string with a bend. Alright, so we have this so far. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so that's the, what is that, 4th measure of the solo. So the next measure will sound like this. Okay, so what we're doing there is we're going to hit 6 to 8. We've done that bend in the previous measure. Alright, so what we're going to do is hit 6, 8 on the first string, and then we're going to hit 6, hammer onto 8, pull off back to 6, and slide to 5. Then we're going to hit 5, hammer onto 6, pull off to 5, and go to the second string, 8, pulled off to 6 twice. Then we go to the third string, and we'll do a pull off and hammer on from 7 to 5. Then we hit 5 and slide back to 3. And then we'll do 5 again and pull off to 3 twice. The second time we slide to 2. Then we're going to hit 3, pulled off to 2 on that third string, hitting 5 on the fourth string. Back to 2 on the third string, 3 on the fourth string. And then the last note will be 5 on the third string. And that leads us up to the next measure, which starts with a bend at 5. Alright, so the next measure will sound like this. Now we've left off on that 5 unbent. Now we're going to go this. Okay, this is a real tongue twister, if you will. We're going to hit 5 on that third string bent this time and release to 3. Then we're going to catch 3 on the first to 3 on the second string. Then we're going to go 6, 5 from that second string. Back to 3 on the first string to the second string. Then we'll go 5, 6 on the first string. See what I mean by tongue twister? We'll go back and forth. Then we're going to go 3, hammer on the 5, pull back off to 3 to 6. Come to 5 on the first string. And then the second string, 6 pulled off to 3. And then 3, 5, 6 on the first string. Wow, yeah, it's a real finger tongue twister. Slowly, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, we're almost to the last, we are to the last measure. We'll go over that next. Alright, so the last measure of the solo, we're going from the prior measure, 3, 5, 6 on the first string. We'll stay on the first string and we'll do this. And that's the end of the solo. So what we're doing, we're moving up to the 5th position. We're going to hammer on to 6, pull back off to 5 on the first string, hit 5 on the second. And then we'll do that again, but the second time we hit the 5, pull, or I should say bend and release to 6, and then hammer on to 5 with a bend again. Then we'll hit 8 to 6 on that second string, and then an 8 pulled off to 6, and then 4, really 5 hits, 4, and then 1 final on that first string. Alright, so we have this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's the solo. And you're into the chorus and out, and that just repeats. So I really hope that helps everybody. Again, my notes will be linked below the video. You can download them and follow along with the lesson. I hope that helps everybody. Enjoy.